Hi everyone, my name is Alisa Tilsner. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in South Australia. Today I'm going to show you how I have watercoloured the image from the Bloom and Grow stamp set, which is this one here. I felt like a little bit of colouring in the other night and I thought, right, I just went through my stamps and this one I thought would be a great one to colour. So I'm going to be doing this image right here. So, and I'm only using two colours, that's it for the moment, and very different colours that I would not normally use. So I saw a card the other day by one of the artisan design team members and she'd used, I think it was navy. I didn't go in and have a real close look, but just she'd used the blue, so I thought that's pretty good. So I'm starting off with white embossed. You can see that I have done that already, and I am working on watercolor paper. So the colors that I'm using, I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit there for you. So I'm going to be using Night of Navy to do my flowers, and then I thought I have not used this color in forever, Sahara Sand. So I am going to have a play with that one. So I'm using, I've still got old, whoops, I'll try and get away so that it's not too close for you. I am using still the old ink pads, and these ones are the really old ones because they're still the firm. These are from when I first joined up nearly 14 years ago. So the other thing that you will need is your aqua painter, and I tend to not fill my barrel. So I've only got a small amount of water in there. I find that if I fill my barrel up too full, when I tip it upside down, it must be the pressure of the water coming down, and it sort of makes my nib flood a little bit, which I don't really like. And of course you'll need your trusty paper toweling, and mine has been with me for quite some time. So actually I've got two of them and they look pretty much the same. So let's get started. I probably will speed a little bit up for you, and a handy thing is if you keep your stamp set beside you, because sometimes you need to, which way did I stamp that? Up this way. Sometimes you will need to refer back to the image to see where you're actually working. So I'm going to start with the middle. Let me just make sure I'm in the screen. Standing up and sitting down constantly, and because I've got one image already, I want to avoid mucking that one up. So I've squeezed my ink pad and I'm just going to take the color from there, and I'm going to start in the center of each petal, wipe off, you probably can't see that on screen, but I'm wiping off my nib, making it clean again, and then just coming back. And I don't know why I wipe it off after each, when I'm going to go and dip it in again, but it's just habit. So a little bit of colour down, wipe off, and then come back in and blend it. So that's pretty much it. It is a fairly long process, but I think it's definitely well worth it. So I'm just going to do this one whole petal. And you'll find that if you're, it's a good way of controlling how much water's coming out of your nib as well, to be wiping off each time, because it sort of dries it off a little bit. You don't get too much water flooding down. And then the little background. And it definitely helps having that embossed outline as well. So it makes it a little bit easier. Sort of helps you stay in the lines a little bit. Oops. Doesn't matter if you go out a little bit, because as you see with that one there, I just pulled it back. We got another petal down here. And I do believe there's another one hiding under there. And I think that is it for that particular one. So that's how super quick that is. I am going to go and finish colouring the rest of my blue. For the little buds here, I just put a little bit of colour down there and wipe off and do it again. And so that's how it works. I am going to finish colouring, I'll put it in the fast go mode so that you don't have to suffer through the time consuming. Well, it's not that bad and time consuming, it's enjoyable. I'll leave it at that. So if you enjoy colouring, you'll enjoy doing that. So anyway, I'm going to finish colouring. I'm going to have a sip of my cup of tea first. Okay, there's our first colour down. So hopefully my hand didn't get in the way too much. Well, my count is up to 11 minutes, so that's not too bad for colouring. I'm just going to squeeze my nib and make sure that all that blue is out of there. And then I'm going to come in with the Sahara sand. Now, this one is very light, so it may even pay, depending on how dark you want your Sahara sand, is to actually drop a little bit of re-inker into, I wonder if I have one close by. There we go. It may even pay to just drop just a little bit. Trust me, get it all over my thumb, transfer it all over my work. All right. So let's go and pick on a couple of leaves, but the process is pretty much the same. I'm just going to pick up, make sure I'm in the screen properly. I'm just going to pick up a tiny bit of, and when I say tiny, I mean I'm not putting it in here. I'm just putting it right on the edge and pulling a little bit of colour out. Always pays to go lighter than darker, and my nib's a little bit too wet. So probably because that ink is wet. There we go. So, but I find with this one, you'll probably need to come back a second time to add a bit more shading, because it is a fairly light ink. So I'm going to zoom ahead again and come back when I'm done. Okay, I do believe I am done. I do believe. Let's just pull that up so you can see both of them. That hasn't taken me too long. I've been going for 16 minutes now, and that's been a lot of waffle as well. So if I was just doing it on my own, it probably would be a 10-minute colour-in job. So now I'm going to make them into a card. Funny thing is that I posted my coloured in image on my Facebook page last night and said I'm going to attempt to fussy cut this. And one of my friends said, "You do know there's a die for that set, don't you?" And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. So I am going to go and create a card. There's a few new items from both the mini catalogue and the Celebration catalogue that I want to try with this card. So I will come back and show you what I've created with it. See you soon. Right, I've just finished my card. I used the dies to cut out my flowers. I didn't have to break my sanity with that one. And I've used a couple of items from the new mini and Celebration. From the mini, I've used the Happy Birthday stamp set, which is from a stamp from the stamp set called Label Me Bold, which I absolutely love. I think it's going to be a very well used stamp set by the end of the season. So I have used that one, And I have used, also from the mini, I have used some of the clear sequins, which are part of the Peaceful Poppies suite. There's a whole heap of different coloured sequins in there, but I quite like the clear ones just to, they're a bit more matte, they're just a little bit more subtle. And also you can probably see the background here. I have used, this is a level 2 celebration item, and it comes as a bundle, but this is the stone embossing folder, and I really like the embossing folder. Now I can show you the rest of the, when I find it, it's probably at the back. Yes, there it is. This stamp set here comes with it, so it is a 2, there we go, it is a level 2, so you get the stamp set plus the embossing folder. And I mean, have a look at this sample, that is just gorgeous. So anyway, I've used, that's the reverse side of it, I think, that side. I've used just the flat side, so it's called Stone, which I really like. Sort of looks a little bit like crinkled cardstock too. So if you don't enjoy screwing your cardstock up and then smoothing it out for texture, this is probably a really great one to get hold of. So anyway, yep, there's my card. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a play as well. I enjoy colouring, so I'll probably do a few more videos showing you how I colour. Thanks for watching. See you later.